Welcome back to the Coach's Corner, and welcome to week number 6 of Gulfport High School Admiral football. Your Admirals went on the road last Friday and took care of business. We traveled to War Memorial Stadium in Pascagoula, and we came out with a decisive victory, probably our first victory all season where we really showed up in all 3 phases of the game.
Yeah,
offense,
absolutely.
defense, and special teams. We look great, a lot of positive things going, a lot of exciting things to talk about, so let's jump right into it and get Coach Pennock on the set. Welcome back, Coach.
Man, glad to be here. It's week 6. You say it gets going by pretty quick, doesn't it?
It's moving quickly.
Absolutely. I mean, it feels like we just did our first show not long ago, and so now we're right in the teeth of it.
Yeah. So, Coach, I kind of feel like that was our first game of the season where really all phases showed up, and not only showed up, but really dominated the game. Offense, they looked great. They looked on time. Everything kind of just fell into place. Defense showed up. We've seen them do that so far, in prior weeks.
Yeah.
But then special teams as well. So
absolutely,
kind of take out from there. Give us just a kind of a refresher on.
The big thing kind of going into the game is understanding, guys. We've had the tough losses on the last plays of the game and that kind of thing, and some of that stuff can distract you, right? And we talked to them a lot the previous week, just about having joy in the game and finding why do you do this, right? And so it was a big thing for us to kind of to promote that within the program, to understand that all it really takes is just kind of doing your job and doing it consistently over and over again, and got back in the thick of it. And I thought, really Friday night, you just saw kind of our team and what it's capable of when we just do our job and make plays, right? And so ultimately this thing is this whole game is about players, and we've had plays there to be made. We got a young group. There's some guys that are making their first starts. Well, now kind of as you go, they're getting a little bit better at the things that they were kind of messing up or whatever beforehand. We're understanding our team as coaches, and that's what that region play is or that non-region schedule is for. And so as we're going through this and you look through, we challenged our offense, right? We wanted to come out and attack, which is when the first play of the game, we were holding that to try to score on the first play through the trick play. We didn't connect on it, but we ended up punting it down there, getting great job on special teams, getting the ball down there in the low red back inside the 10 for them, and then we continue to pressure the quarterback, do a great job with that, back them up, and now they're punting out of their own end zone, and we block a punt and get a safety, right? And so now that gets us on the board, gets a short field position. We take advantage, go in and score. Really good job with that. Obviously, we wanted to click on in our passing game, get our running game going, which we ran for over 250 yards doing that. That was a great deal. We were able to be multiple in the passing game. And then defensively, we know they're going to try to throw it. Their quarterback that they had in there is a linebacker who I think he's got some really potential from a quarterback standpoint, can push the ball downfield. They got a lot of great players. And I know we're going to talk about it in a minute, but they had 3 Mississippi Alabama All-Stars on their team when the quarterback was one of them. And so really pressured the quarterback, did a great job dominating the running game and all that. And then obviously, can make a field goal right there, and was able to do a great job in the punt game too as well. So an overall performance, just making plays, and it was good to kind of get that end of it and have us stretch that lead out for a little while. Yeah,
overall performance is putting it lightly. A 53-13 dominating victory, and when I say dominating, I mean that's against a really skilled physical team.
Yeah, I mean they played basically our entire region. They played Ocean Springs, they played D'Iberville, and they played Biloxi as well, and all those have been within a 1 or 2 score games. And so they're battle tested. They will Coach Sims and those guys, they're beat up now, kind of going through that gauntlet, but they will be a team that in the the second round, third round of the 6A playoffs that will be there probably, fighting for it all.
Yeah. And we're going to get into a full game recap in our next segment. But real quick before our break, Coach, if I had to get you to kind of state your overall takeaway from just this performance on Friday night, what would you say?
I would say consistent and intense, right? I thought we played with a drive and intensity that it takes to win these big games in 7A. And I thought we played with the overall consistency that we needed to not kind of get in our own way. Talking about, when I say get in our own way, meaning, making sure our alignments and assignments are correct, right? And making sure that we're, running the right plays or on the right routes, and just all this, the mixtures of what you deal with young players. And I think that they took a major growth step forward And I think that when it comes down to when you mano a mano, your best versus our best, I think we can compete with anyone. And so taking a major step towards that consistency overall was a big deal. And I thought our guys played with a lot of fight, man. I really did. We had a couple D linemen go down early in the game, and so we didn't have as much of a rotation. And to do that and to play as hard as they played and consistently as they did, I was really happy with that step.
And we're going to give you the full game recap when we come back after this quick break. But real quick, we'll also have a surprising announcement of some accolades of some Admirals that we'll announce on the first part of our next segment. And before we take a break, we just want to thank Woody's, Doug and his team here for hosting us each week. Great crowd again. Playoff baseball and college football on in the Bar Here area. Thank you again, Woody's, for being our signature sponsor. And Admiral Nation, stay tuned. In 60 seconds, you want to hear this quick update.
Tonight's Coach's Corner is being brought to you in part by Harborview Oral and Facial Surgery Center, located at 1301 25th Avenue, Suite 3, right here in Gulfport. Whether you need dental implants, bone grafting, wisdom teeth removal, cosmetic work, or several other procedures, Dr. Jason Rossetti and his staff have you covered. Their cutting-edge technology and personalized recovery plans help you heal right the first time so you can get back to smiling with confidence. Contact them at 228-867-0121. Their office hours are Monday through Thursday from 8 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. and Fridays from 8 to 12:30 p.m. Thank you, Dr. Jason Rossetti and your staff, for supporting Gulfport High Admiral football.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner. And we have a great announcement tonight.
Yep.
We have had two of our players be named to the Mississippi-Alabama All-Star Game, which is really the creme brulee. That's the All-Star Game that everybody wants to play in the state of Mississippi. And we've got our very own head coach, Blake Pennock, will be the offensive coordinator.
Oh, yeah.
Is that right?
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We're looking forward to that.
No doubt we are. Absolutely. We were fortunate enough to have two great players, selected in the game, and that whole selection process, it's one of the more scrutinized things in the state of Mississippi every single year. There's always players that they feel like should make it, they should make it, and then they didn't, and whatever. And that's going to be the case this year, But we're fortunate enough to have Cooper Crosby and Andre Peters, our running back and our linebacker, get a chance to take those, and that's an awesome opportunity for them. They're going to get to go play. We're going to spend a week at Camp Shelby and play around some of the best players in the state of Mississippi and in the state of Alabama. Johnny Mims, the executive director for their MAC, the Coaches Association, he talks about it every year when we do this, is some of the players that have played in this game. You're talking about DK Metcalf and A.J. Brown, and you're talking about Fletcher Cox and some of these guys that are millionaires now that have played in this game. And then you got Ryan Williams right there on the Alabama side. A lot of those types of guys that have played. And so to get a chance to be around everybody like that for 1 week and getting a chance to coach those guys is an awesome opportunity.
Yeah, very cool. Like Coach said, you got Cooper Crosby. He has a few SEC offers already.
That's right.
Andre Peters will be playing in that game. So we look forward to seeing that. Mark that on your schedule, Admiral Nation. The Mississippi-Alabama game, we've got Cooper and Trey P playing in it, and Coach Pennock being the offensive coordinator. We also have Parker Nettles named to play in the Bernard Blackwell All-Star game. So congratulations to Parker Nettles for being named to that All-Star game. And a member of our coaching staff will serve on that staff as well, Coach Justin Jones.
That's right.
So congratulations to all of our Admirals. It's good to see Parker get recognized there.
Yeah, I know. Just he hadn't been here very long, but he's made a major impact because some of the coaches of the teams that we've played are on that South staff, and so based off the way that he's played, they selected him on that with the amount of potential that he has and what their season he thinks he'll have. So just an exciting opportunity for him and for our staff and Justin as well to get a chance to be around those guys. It's such a cool experience. I've been a coach in that game before. a couple of times as well. Been fortunate enough to be a head coach in that game. And it's just a really, really cool experience getting to coach those guys from kind of all different places and whatnot.
Yeah, it is really cool.
It is.
And Coach just named a few names. We're going to go way back to 1994.
Who played
So
in
if you want to
1994?
speak about some names that played in that game, do you know who my suite mates were during the week of the Mississippi-Alabama game?
I don't know this.
One, Dwayne Rudd from
Okay.
South Panola, played in the NFL for 100 years, and Deshae Townsend.
God
Two
bless.
South Panola guys who went on with great
You really
NFL
picked them, didn't you?
careers. Oh, man, that was an impressive week. And look, just to your point, there's been some unbelievable players on both sides, obviously, Alabama and Mississippi.
Yep.
So good things for our Admirals. We look forward to watching all those guys compete in those all-star games. Let's get to the game recap of Pascagoula.
All right, let's do it.
Let's start with the defense.
Okay.
They were impressive all night. It looks like we really dominated the line of scrimmage every play.
Yeah, and when you talk about playing great defense, it has to start there, right? It has to start there, and I thought we did a phenomenal job. We basically shut down the running game, which made them one-dimensional. They ended up throwing like 30, 40 passes, something like that in the game. Threw for a bunch of yards, but it was a lot of kind of like big plays, empty yards type things. And so we were able to clamp down on it right there in the red zone, pressured the quarterback all night long. You know, you got to give credit. And we're going to bring the guy up too, you know, but DeAndre Williams, we send him. He's one of our more effective blitzers, and we have several of them on our team. Javon Anderson on the defensive end on the other side, they ended up doubling him in the second quarter, which allowed some of our other guys to make some plays right there. Jamarion Davis right there, Trey Peters, that also made some great plays. And Juice Robertson, from the interior of the defensive line, just dominated the offensive line there in the line of scrimmage. And so when you get that together and is able to make some plays and put pressure and speed up the quarterback's process, it usually tends in to be a good night.
Yeah. So was that the game plan going in? Did y'all have a tweak? Did y'all have a strategy there to put the pressures on the quarterback? Did y'all see something?
We felt like watching tape and evaluating as a staff that was probably one of the bigger gaps within the game is our front seven versus their offensive line. And we really wanted to do some things. Our defensive coordinator, Zach Green, dialed up some tremendous pressures to make sure that we were able to kind of manipulate a little bit of their pressure schemes, their protections, and did a good job. We ended up getting a lot of clean hits. Ended up getting a sack and a forced fumble out of that too as well. Got two of them, and we're able to turn the ball over quite a bit. And so that was a tremendous deal from our staff, and then obviously with our players and execution.
Yeah, and it was obvious. Like I said, from play one, we looked fast and physical.
Yes.
You know, we haven't really paired all that together. Some games we looked physical. We looked like we had them outmanned from play one. It was very impressive. Okay, so that's our defensive recap.
Yep.
Offensively, to me, it looked like we ran the ball, we threw the ball, we were on time throwing the ball. Those really balanced themselves out. Can you kind of speak to that? It kind of felt like that was our first game offensively where, we were just clicking, man.
Yeah, I know, and so we're dealing with a lot of guys right there, some new spots and everything, and so you're kind of finally getting that edge where you're just close.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so because the previous week against Petal, if we bring a couple of balls in, we're figuring.
Sure.
We're loving ourselves right now. You know, but I thought we had a great plan. You know, we knew kind of what we had an idea of what they had been doing, and then had an idea kind of going into the game of what they might do, which they ended up locking us up kind of man coverage. And so our coaches adjusted. Coach Mooneyham, right there, offensive coordinator, did a great job of adjusting on the fly, going to our man beaters. And I thought we did a great job, even though they stacked the box in the line of scrimmage, still able to churn out yards and get some running lanes. Because early in the game, obviously the things are small right there for Cooper, and so we couldn't quite get him going. So we're able to hit some things out wide, mix it up, do some play pass, get the tight end involved a little bit. That gives us an opportunity to kind of be a player in a little more multiple, right?
Yep.
And then we had some guys make some big plays out wide, and then that loosened up the box at that point, right? They started going a little more coverage, and then we were able to kind of run the football. Ended up having a couple of runs. Ended up having all four running backs score touchdowns in the game. How about that?
Touch on that. Four different Admirals scored touchdowns.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. 4 different Admirals.
That's rare.
I know. And then you had Javice Hales with the touchdown catch too to make 5, and so that was just a cool opportunity to get everybody involved at that moment.
And kind of to the balanced attack theme, has to make you happy when you see Parker on time and completing passes, because I do agree that I think everybody's strategy right now, right, is to take Cooper Crosby out of the game.
It's a good strategy. It's a good strategy.
So the more passes we complete, we're going to keep it balanced, fair and balanced, and get more people out of the box.
Yep.
So awesome job on offense. I thought our offense was just as impressive as our defense. Like we've said, all phases of the game were hitting. That only leaves one last phase for us to talk about, and that's the special teams.
Oh, yeah.
Each week, they continue to get better.
Yes, so far this year, keeping that running tally, we've blocked 4 punts, I believe. We've affected the punter 4 times to get the ball in chase field position. Want to try to keep that going as much as we can. It's a huge phase in the game. Ended up doing made a field goal right there, and I think Carter continues to get more consistent right there. Tried to do a couple of different things. We weren't quite getting the ball in the end zone on our kickoffs, and so we tried to do a couple different things, whether it's a sky kick or squib and that kind of thing. I thought we fell asleep a little bit at our coverage units on kickoff right there, which give us a chance to reset real quick and work on that a little bit more during practice this week. And then, I thought our punt game was great.
Yes.
We did a tremendous job. They have some real good ball players right there. A Texas A&M commit back there returning punts, and did a great job covering and making sure we didn't give up anything cheap right there. And so continue to put the emphasis on that. Coach Cam Tywater, does our special teams, and such a creative mind. And it allows us to put some pressure on the punter in that aspect of it and things, and different things in our coverage and return units.
And Admiral Nation, I can tell you it's never fun to punt to an SEC commit.
No.
You never want to do that.
You don't like to do it. No, absolutely not. You kind of hold your breath a little bit, but I thought our guys did a great job covering and getting down there. It's kind of the unsung heroes of the game at times, right? Because that field position study in the game, within the game is – which we won the field position battle by 25 yards. And so doing that, man, that's a credit to success on that.
And I was glad to see Carter get back in the mix, make a field goal.
Oh, yeah.
We all know the field goal the prior week, which, look, getting back to that pedal game, I thought he made the field goal.
We all did,
He really put a good stroke on it. But at the end of the day, you want to see, Admiral Nation saying we made it. At the end of the day, Trey Sutton, thank you. Yes. At the end of the day, you love to see him get out there and make another field goal, get the confidence back under his belt. How was he in practice last week?
He's been good, man. That's kind of kickers. Kickers are different. About that, just different mentalities. So one thing we know about Carter, he's a worker, and so he's going to get it right and he's going to do a good job, and he cares a lot about it, right? And so that's a big thing, and so we're excited about him. Have all the faith in the world that he's going to go and knock it through. So did a good job, and we got another kicker actually got his first taste. And Shaw Killebrew got his first taste of an extra point in there, and so did a good job and also kicked the touchback.
It's good stuff.
Yep.
Development each week in all 3 phases. That's all you can ask for.
That's the biggest deal going into this thing. it's a journey, rather, right? Obviously we want to win every game, and everything's about that week's opponent. But you want to make sure at the end of it, when you're walking through, are we getting better week by week? Because by week 10, week 11, week 12, when we're in the playoffs and we're in this run, you want to look at the week and look at the season long as have we gotten better? Have we progressed throughout the week or throughout the season? And so if we're doing that, then I think we're going to get ourselves the best shot for the playoff run.
So would you say this was our most complete performance so far year to date?
Yeah, without a doubt. We've been close several of the times and doing those things, but I thought this past week, obviously, running the football, being physical, playing in all 3 phases was the week that we're looking forward to. And like you said, it's nothing extraordinary that you're doing. You're just the plays are there to be made. We make them, and that's it. Being consistent with it.
Well, it was impressive, and it was fun to watch. We hope we continue on that continued momentum this week.
Yep.
So we're going to take a quick break, Admiral Nation. When we come back, we'll have our player of the game spotlight, DeAndre Williams, and we will tell you his secret name, his nickname, when we come back on the set. Y'all stay with us. We'll be back shortly.
We would like to take this time to remind you that Gulfport Football's Big Men in the Trenches are sponsored by Gulfside Periodontics of Gulfport. Speaking of trenches, don't let the trench mouth or any array of gum diseases affect your quality of life. When it comes to strong teams, you know the foundation matters. And when it comes to your smile, Gulfside Periodontics is the MVP. From advanced dental implants and laser gum therapy to expert periodontal care, their team is trusted by families across the Mississippi Gulf Coast. Located at 423 Security Square, Gulfside Periodontics of Gulfport uses cutting-edge tech to treat gum disease, restore your smile, and keep your oral health in championship form. No pain, no pressure, just precision care. Contact Dr. Thomas Carter and his staff at Gulfside Periodontics today. Visit them at gulfsideperio.com or give them a call at 228-205-4843. Thank you, Gulfside Periodontics of Gulfport, for supporting Gulfport High Admiral football.
Hey, welcome back. And we are here at Woody's Roadside. Just want to thank Doug and his staff here. They're our signature sponsor. They have gone above and beyond for Gulfport High football, and we're just really appreciative. Great atmosphere. Always games on in here in this area. Great menu to choose from. Please come out and join us if you haven't so far. All right, so we're going to have our introduced to the Admiral Nation, our player of the game, player of the Pascagoula game, which was one linebacker, DeAndre Williams.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, bud.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me.
Man, I tell you, I've been watching you play for a while. You're so exciting to watch.
Yeah.
Can you kind of tell us a little bit about your training, your preparation for your season, for the weeks?
Spring was obviously a big preparation part of it. I learned a lot about myself, but also about the football team and the people I would be playing with. But the biggest part for each game week is the week to prepare.
Yep, sure.
It's going into it, we learn a lot about the key players. We learn a lot about all of them. So
right.
It's a big preparation.
Well, man, you had a huge night.
Yes, sir.
8 tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. Tell us a little bit about that, man. Did you have a secret pregame meal or something, or is that just is that what your expectations are each
I would
week?
say that's the standard.
That's right.
I just try to be above the line, and nothing changes before the game. I do the same thing every game, so it's crazy. It's phenomenal. I just go out there and play the sport I love. So
yeah, what's that? What do you do before every game?
Before the game, I'll probably watch TikTok or Instagram because my nerves. I'd rather not let my nerves get to me. So I try to stay relaxed, and then before the game starts, we'll pray, and I'll listen to music, and then it's time to go.
Awesome.
It's time to
go.
go.
So we've talked about your pregame ritual. Mm-hmm. What about your pregame mindset? Do you have a mindset ritual that you like to focus on?
Just know that I'm the player that's a difference maker.
Sure.
Know that I know what I'm doing, not be hesitant, that I know what's going on in the game.
Yeah.
We've learned it for the whole week.
And the reason I asked that question, man, just watching you're so assignment sound and so attention to detail and such a mover and a shaker. You're fun to watch, and I know that Admiral Nation appreciate you as well. So what would you say you seem live in their backfield, right? I mean, did y'all see any type of strategy on the game film all throughout the week where you knew you were going to have a chance to have such a dominating performance?
Their O-line, they have good size, but my speed I use to my biggest thing is my speed, how fast I can come off the ball, how fast I can blitz, and how physical.
And it's very obvious.
Yeah. And so I know that I can beat most tackles with my speed, but I know I also have to work moves. You know, if it's a pass, then I have to work a move. I won't just be able to dip and just use speed.
So other than speed, what part of your game would you say that you, I don't know, what part of your game would you say you take the most pride in? Would you say pressures, tackling, blitzes, tackling? So, you consider yourself
a good tackler.
Good tackler. Are you the best tackler on the team?
I wouldn't say that. We have a lot of good players on our team, so it's hard to say I'm the best at it. But I would say I'm.
So name some players that are as good.
Andre Peters, he's good
Trey
at tackling.
P.
Yeah. Javon Anderson, he's good at tackling. Juice, Lawrence Robertson, he's good. Jamarion Davis is good at tackling. We have a lot of good players that can tackle.
All right, well, so now we're going to get into your favorites. Who's your favorite player on the team?
It would have to be Andre Peters or Cooper
Trey
Crosby.
P.
Yeah, I've built a good relationship.
Trey
with
P and Coop, they're always named, man.
Yeah, I've built a good relationship with him. Trey, he took me under his wing at the beginning of my 9th grade year because I was moved up to varsity.
Right. Really?
He just took me under his wing and showed me the ropes.
That's awesome.
And then Cooper, I would say I built the relationship through competitiveness.
Yeah.
You know, I would go against him every practice, knowing it's a good running back, and that seeing running backs like that are the type of ones I'll see in game.
Sure.
So knowing I have to go full speed against him.
Those are two good ones to name too. So, what would be your message to your teammates? You know, take us, I don't know, before the game, on the sideline. at halftime. Give the Admiral Nation some inside info on pork chop in the locker room.
I would just let them know, don't let their nerves get to them. We've prepared for it, so there's no reason to get scared now. We're already here. Just go play the game. You know what to do, and just do your job.
Yeah.
So it's something simple.
Sure.
Something simple.
Sure. So you ready for Ocean Springs?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We've prepared a lot.
Yeah, man. Region ball starts this week.
Yeah, this game right here is like a region championship game type of thing. You know, we've played them over and over and over at their place. We know what the atmosphere is like. We know what it's going to be like. We know they're a good team. You know, so it's
been a good week of practice?
Yes, sir. Yeah, it's been a pretty good – I'd say it's one of our best weeks of practice.
Good. Great.
Yeah.
All right, Admiral Nation, so that is our player of the game spotlight. It is one DeAndre Porkchop Williams. Listen to this again. 8 tackles, 3 sacks, and 2 forced fumbles. That's good stuff right there, and we're going to need you to do that, if not better, tomorrow night.
Yes, sir. Hopefully better.
All right, well, thank you, Porkchop, for coming on the show. Guys, we're going to take a quick break. We'll be right back, and when we come back, we will jump right into our coaches spotlight. We'll have the linebackers coach, Coach Chase Cooley, join us. Y'all stay tuned. Thank you.
Are you ready to relax, recover, and feel rejuvenated? Well, we'd like to remind you to take a time out with Revive and Thrive, located at 1073 Acadian Drive, right here in Gulfport. Come enjoy their saunas, cold plunges, contrast therapy, and rejuvenating salt room, or even shut out the world in their sensory deprivation float suite. With state-of-the-art equipment and over a decade of combined experience in the field, these Gulfport High alums are ready to tailor their services to empower you to thrive. So, whether you're getting ready for your next big event or just wanting to feel rejuvenated in your daily life, contact Revive and Thrive to book an appointment or ask about membership options today. Thank you, Revive and Thrive, for supporting Gulfport High Admiral football.
Welcome back to the Coach's Corner, and welcome back to week number 6 of Gulfport High football. Again, we're coming off of a strong win against Pascagoula last week in Gula, which is always a tough place to play. A lot of momentum showed up in all 3 phases of the game. So we're moving on that momentum into region play this year. And this segment, we're going to have our coach's spotlight, and this week it is our linebackers coach, Coach Chase Cooley. Welcome to the set, Coach.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for coming on, and thank you for what you're doing with our linebackers. Man, what's going on? What's the secret sauce? These guys are showing up.
Man, there's no secret sauce. It's just hard work. It's coming in. They listen. They're easy to coach. I showed up as prepared as I can be, so I can prepare them good. I always tell them our preparation is our separation.
I like that.
So
say that again.
Preparation is our separation.
That's good stuff. Yes. Okay, so obviously Porkchop had an unbelievable game. Yeah. Can you kind of take us through some other linebacker names? We know Trey P. We know Porkchop. But even talk a little bit about Trey P. if you don't mind. Just kind of take the nation through the staff or the linebacker.
All right, well, I've been told I only have a few minutes, so I can't go too in depth. But obviously Trey P., he's an animal. He's a man amongst boys at times. He's fun to coach. You tell him to do something, he does it. Porkchop's the same way. They just play with a certain speed. One guy that doesn't get talked about as quite as much as those two is Jamarian Davis, number 9.
Yes.
He's like the brain of the operation. Yes. He is my coach on the field, and he just gets after it. He's really, really smart, cerebral. And like I said, you just tell him what to do, and he does it. And then, our 4th guy, because we're in base a lot, 3-4, Cortell Crandall. He's really came into his own as a junior, number 28. He's just consistent. He doesn't make as much of the splash plays as Porkchop or Trey P., but he's always where he's supposed to be. He's a solid tackler. He's a physical kid, and he understands the game of football as well. So, I'm just blessed to have 4 really good backers.
Yeah. What's it like coaching a player like DeAndre?
Oh, man, it's fun. The funny thing about DeAndre is you watch him play and you think he's just this violent, mean, physical kid. And he is physical and violent, but he's just laughing.
He's just soft-spoken up here, man.
He's just a great kid. He's always happy. Like, even when things are going bad, he stays level-headed. He doesn't get down on himself. He just keeps balling. He keeps playing hard. and he's just infectious, man. Like, I look at him and I just laugh, but not laugh at him, just laugh with him. So it's fun. I love that kid.
Well, it seems like y'all are having a lot of fun, and it's very apparent that they're dominating pretty much from week to week. So let's take this linebacker group and go back to spring training.
Oh, yeah.
Have they always enforced their will in the inter squads or the scrimmages like they are now?
So spring was a big deal as a linebacker group, okay, because obviously Trey P was Trey P, so we knew that spot was slowed up. Jamarian Davis played a lot of snaps for us last year, but we didn't know whether we were going to need him inside or outside. But then Pork Chop and Cortell, they had to fight for it.
Yeah.
Like, it wasn't guaranteed that they were going to be who they were. And, Amaje Frederick is another guy that's in my group, and now he's getting a lot more snaps on offense, but he's another solid guy that he goes in anytime any of these guys can't. And spring was just huge. I really challenged Pork Chop and Cortell. I'm like, look, you're going to have to show me that you guys can be the guys. And, Pork Chop's spring training was just unbelievable. I was telling all the other coaches in January of this year, I'm like, man, I think Pork Chop's going to steal a job. Most people were on board, but, they weren't too sure. And he gave us no other choice. Like, Pork Chop has got to be on the field, So
yeah.
Big spring. I challenged him every day. We were super physical and individual. I love spring because we can be physical. You don't got to really worry about, this guy might get rolled up, this, that, and the other. You can just go after it every day. You get to go against the ones. So, spring was fun. It kind of gave me a renewed joy for coaching. Like, you get in a lull.
That's right.
During that off season, and it renewed my passion, my flame, and man, these guys are fun to coach.
Yeah. And it's got to be fun coaching at such talented, cerebral kids.
They're
like
smart.
You said, they're so assignment sound, and it's obvious that they are. And they play really, really, really fast. That's what's fun to watch.
Well, if you read your keys, you get to do that. So if they keep doing that, then we'll be all right.
That's right. And look, the linebacker group, right? That's the heartbeat of the defense. So what do you demand from them every single Friday night? What are some strategies? Give the Admiral Nation some insight to some key motivation topics.
The number one thing, and it's pretty obvious, is just discipline. Like, if your eyes are supposed to be on somebody, they need to be there. And it shows up on tape every time if they're not. If your eyes aren't where they're supposed to be, the film's not going to lie. Yeah. It's going to show. So we're really, really big into that. Alignment assignment, obviously, that's the generic coaching answer. But we do a really good – they take meetings really seriously, and we do a really good job of preparing them throughout the week. I work with a bunch of really great coaches. Then we get the scheme down on Sundays, and then we implement the plan, and they execute the plan. Yeah. So, it comes down to a lot of smart guys being in the room at the same time.
So how important is communication from the linebacker position to making our overall scheme work?
Oh, my God. I think it would probably be the most important thing, because not only do the linebackers have to communicate with D-line, they have to communicate with the secondary as well. We do things coverage-wise where sometimes the outside linebackers or safeties are not part of the run fit. Sometimes they are, so the insides have to check outside, make sure they have help or not. If they don't, they have to adjust. So I would say communication is huge, with motions and everything. You got to know what's going on around you, and if they don't talk to each other, then we're going to bust. And if they do talk to each other, we're going to be sound, and that's what you saw last Friday night.
Yeah. Good week of practice so far?
Oh, man, great practice. Obviously we're on intercession. We got to bring the guys in early, have extra meeting time. All my coaches that work with me, they know I can talk, I can fill a meeting. So I'm sure the linebackers at this point are tired of hearing me talk about it, but if anything, they're prepared.
That's right. That's right. And
I go to sleep good.
Not only one of our biggest rivals this week, but region play kicks off.
Oh, yeah. And and this is the one, man. This is the one. You get this one, the momentum you ride throughout region into the playoffs is going to be huge. All of our goals are right here in front of us. We dropped two really, really close ones there in non-region that if you get them, you feel a lot better. But at the same time, we proved what we were last Friday. And as long as we continue doing things the right way, we're going to continue to prove who we are.
That's right. That's right. Well, this is linebacker coach Chase Cooley. He is the leader of this impressive group of linebackers that continue to grow and just get better each week.
I appreciate
Big game tomorrow night, Friday night in OS.
Yep.
And it kicks off the first game of region play, guys. Admiral Nation, we need to go back on the road again and support them. We're going to take a quick break.
Show up and show out.
That's right. Show up and show out from Coach Chase Cooley. Thank you for coming on set.
Thank you,
We really appreciate it. Y'all stay tuned. We'll be back very, very shortly, and we'll get back into things with Coach Pennock and discuss the Ocean Springs Greyhound upcoming game tomorrow night. Thank you.
Tonight's Coach's Corner is also being brought to you in part by Savvy Sliders, located on Highway 49 in Gulfport. Come experience hand-breaded, hand-grabbed, and handcrafted greatness to fuel you up for the big game. Satisfy your savvy taste with their wide range of sliders and other great treats. And these aren't your average sliders. They're more than a bite. They're bold, juicy, and built to actually fill you up. So, if you want to be the star of the pre-game party, bring Savvy Sliders to the tailgate. Savvy Sliders. Eat savvy and be savvy.
Welcome back to Coach's Corner, and we just want to thank our signature sponsor again, Woody's Roadside. Doug and his team here do an unbelievable job right here on Cowan Road in Gulfport. If you haven't been here to a show, come see us. Come see Doug and his staff here at Woody's. Even if it's not a show, just come support Woody's. They support Gulfport High football big time. All right, Coach, it's rivalry week.
Yeah.
This is a big one. We always love to play Ocean Springs, but most importantly, it kicks off region play ball.
Yeah, no doubt. Right. It's the second season, man. It's, you go through all your non-region stuff, and you're finding out about your team, trying to answer some questions and all that for this part of it, right? Because it positions you for where you're going to be in the playoffs and all that stuff. And so, obviously, the Ocean Springs game, the last several years for Gulfport has been a big game, and one that's kind of determined the region, right? And so, it's a big deal. They've had the upper hand since 2021 in the game, and so being on both sides of that stuff, it's a bigger thing. So now you kind of just have to overtake it, right? And then Gulfport kind of ran the region for a long time, and then now Ocean Springs is having their moment right now, and it's a confident group. It's a really good group. They got a lot of weapons on offense. They do a great job defensively. They don't do a whole lot defensively, but whatever they do it really, really well. And so they've had some great plays on special teams. Got a ton of onside kicks so far this year, which has been a good thing and propelled them to some victories. And so it's just going to be a good one, man. It's going to be a good atmosphere over there in their stadium. And so you got to strap it up and get ready to go.
Yeah, and I'll add on to that. They just seem to they've been the champs, right?
Yeah.
Year in, year out the past couple of years. So we need to go over there and show up and just kind of carry our momentum from last week. What stands out on the film? Anything?
Yeah, I mean, just sound, and you look at their games that they've won. They've done a good job, and they make plays, when the first thing that stands out, their multiplicity on offense, right? They got two good backs that do a really good job. They got a young kid that can really run the ball and stretch it out, and then they got a bruiser right there that has come into their program. And then they got, obviously, Sherrod Whitehead, who can stretch the field, and we've heard about him for a long time.
Talented.
Yeah, really fast guy. If you don't fit up, he'll take 170 to the house.
Oh, yeah.
And then probably the biggest weapon I think they have is the tight end, right? Hayden Bergelin, number 10 right there, that he's 6'4", 235. I mean, just a monster right there. Can stretch the field. He can flex out and put his hand on the ground. Really helps their running game go, running that buck sweep and stuff. And so a guy that we have to match up. And then when you get on the other side defensively, they do a great job playing sound. They're going to kind of just bring a four-man pressure. They're going to play cover three. They got some guys that really fly around. They run to the ball extremely well. They tackle. And, they did a good job. They did a good job on us last year, did a good job on us the last couple of years. And so it's been a challenge for us on offense to make sure that we do some things. They did a great job last year taking away the running game, and so we weren't able to stretch the field any. And so they did a good job just kind of stacking and going the box. So hopefully this year, we'll be able to flip that. Obviously, they're going to start with trying to stop Cooper Crosby, right?
Yeah.
And so we got to be able to counterbalance that and be able to push the ball downfield and make some plays out wide.
So what do we have to do? What's the key ingredient to match up with them tomorrow night?
One of the things, even when I was there too as the head coach, is one thing that these Ocean Springs kids in general, they're going to play extremely hard. Yeah. They're just going to play really, really hard. And we've shown tape of them through spring and through the summer and all that stuff, is being able to match physicality and intensity, right, and being able to match and exceed it. And so, that's one thing about the game, is they understanding what the magnitude is of it, how it kind of, in the past it has set who is the region winner and who finishes as the 2 seed. And so really understand that magnitude and what the need is for the execution and the effort and execution of that is going to be a big deal. So the best part about it is, we've been on intercession this week. I know we'll talk about that, but we've been on intercession this week. We've used that extra time to kind of make sure that our execution and our mentality, our mindset's there.
Yep, sure. Good.
Yep.
So rivalry games are always very, very emotional, right? So how do you manage the team's emotions going into such a big game like this? And like you said, with I hate to say distractions, but it's a difference, right? We're on intercession, so it's shaking the schedule up a little bit.
Yeah.
Can you kind of talk to us about how you and your staff have to manage that during the intercession week and then with a rivalry game?
Yeah, I think you just talk about it a lot. You have to bring awareness to it and understand the accountability. But I think the aspects of how you handle this is you do it more in January through May. You do it in the summer. You do it in training camp. What is the character of your team? What's the accountability system of your team? And how much does it matter to them? Because if it doesn't matter to them, then they'll go about and do everything else at night and not care about what happens in the morning. And I'll be at practice, but I won't be fully ready to go. I'm not going to take my diet the way I need to be able to prepare my body to play a 4-quarter battle, stuff like that. But I'm really excited about this team. I think we've had a great week so far, and we talked about it, on Monday. Is for us is that this can be a blessing or it can be a curse. And so it's depending on how you react and handle it of which one it is. And so I think our guys have done a great job of it. We've got a lot of teach time so far this week and be able to put that in. And so hopefully the onus on the players, making sure we do a good job on our own individually, taking care of ourselves, taking care of our body and our mindset, getting ready. And we'll be locked and loaded, ready to go here in 24 hours.
Yeah, and Ocean Springs obviously has been the team on the coast. I mentioned that just a second ago. They're very well coached, super talented, and just a bunch of guys that never make mistakes. You alluded to that.
Yep.
This opponent tomorrow night, Ocean Springs, is the only undefeated team in the state that's in the top 10. Only 7A undefeated team. So that just kind of tells you the magnitude of this program over there we're going to play. So when your kids know stuff like that, right, we're going to play the champ tomorrow night, so to speak. How much does this matchup mean to not only your staff but this entire community and the school and the students?
Yeah, it means a lot. I mean, it does. Obviously with the transition a couple years ago, and all that stuff, it's been a big deal. It's been a little more magnified. But overall, for us to get to be the program we want to be, you have to kind of get through that coast aspect of it, right? And the cool thing about it right now is, one, they continue to challenge us, right? They keep continuing to try to raise the bar to where we have to raise the bar and try to get over that, right? Because, they're trying to get to state championships. That's what we're trying to do. But to do that, you got to get through them first right now. And so it's driving us in our varsity team. It's driving us in our middle school programs. It's driving us in our ninth grade program, how we are continuing to grow to get to that point. And so we're making strides in those areas. And I think now, at this point, right, it's about just making those plays when it comes down to it and being able to be put in those situations, because they have a lot of players that have been in those situations, a lot of guys that played in the South State Championship a year ago, and understand what it takes and what it needs, the effort and attention to detail you need to win a game of this magnitude. And so our guys are getting there. They're close. We've played – Ocean Springs and us have played a pretty similar schedule. All of us has played Picayune, Petal, and Pascagoula as well. And so we kind of know how each other really matches up and can versus other teams and our stuff as well.
Yeah. And speaking of kind of our schedules matching up like that, I feel like this week couldn't come at a better time with the momentum our team showed last week at Pascagoula. Now we travel back to Ocean Springs, right, to play the defending champion. We've had similar schedules. But look, our only 2 losses, we had a chance to win both games on the last play of the game. So,
the biggest deal of that is just now make the play.
Yeah.
Make the play to win the game. You know what I mean? Because that's, the moral victory stuff, how it is, and no Gulfport fan's ever going to take those, right?
That's right.
And neither nobody will on our staff will, or none of our players. And so now it's getting to the point now, be in the situation, and when the play's there to be made, let's make it.
That's right. That's 7 o'clock tomorrow night in Ocean Springs. Admiral Nation, we need you to show up. It's a big, big game. We kick off region play tomorrow night in Ocean Springs. We're going to go to a quick break, and we'll come back and have the closing comments from Coach. Y'all stay tuned.
Hey, Coach's Corner viewers. We'd like to give you a quick shout out to Exceed Physical Therapy, now serving in locations across Mississippi. Whether you're rehabbing from game day injuries, bouncing back from surgery, or just looking to boost strength, mobility, or balance, Exceed has got your back. And every other joint too. From vertigo and spinal rehab to sports-specific training, pelvic health, manual therapy, dry needling, and even TRX suspension training. They deliver more than expected. Their expert therapists craft a personalized recovery plan that gets you back in the game faster, stronger, and smarter. With 2 locations right here in Gulfport, one in Biloxi and one in Long Beach, Exceed's team of movement specialists is ready to help the Mississippi Gulf Coast exceed their recovery goals. So don't just recover, exceed. Visit exceedtherapy.com and find your nearest clinic. That's exceedtherapy.com. Get back in the game, keep competing, and let Exceed help you bounce back better than ever. Thank you, Exceed Physical Therapy, for supporting the Gulfport High Admiral football team.
Hey, welcome back to the Coach's Corner. And again, tomorrow night in Ocean Springs, the Admirals kick off region play. We need you all there to support the Admirals and cheer us on to victory. All right, Coach, we're wrapping the show up Thursday night before the big regional play kicks off.
Yep.
What was your message to the team today, last practice?
Man, just show up ready, man. Be ready to go. And so the biggest thing for us is plays are there to be made. We make a play. You know, you get kind of the conviction over comfort, right? As it was a talk today, and talked about, like, you know, we have our little story time, you know, at the end of our Thursday walkthrough, right? And we talked about not necessarily a little David to Goliath, but I pulled a quote from Muhammad Ali and talked about his conviction over comfort, and what he meant by that is having our comfortability, right? If we never step outside our comfort zone, then we're never challenged to raise the bar, right? And so having conviction and that belief to be able to raise our level of play, or raise our standard at that point. And for us, that's what it's ultimately going to take, right, is raising the standard of our preparation and raising the standard of our play when it comes down to the game itself. And so our guys are prepared. They're ready to rock and roll. They know what it's going to be needed to do to win the game. You know, it ain't like Ocean Springs is about to give it to us, right? And so the biggest aspect is now we got to go take it.
That's right.
And having the conviction and belief and to be able to do that. And then when the ball's in the air to go make a play, let's go make it.
That's right. And that's tomorrow night in Ocean Springs. We take on the undefeated Ocean Springs Greyhounds. Please get out there and support these guys, this staff, this community. Let's get out there and root our Admirals on to a victory. Hey, join us next week. We've enjoyed y'all tuning in again, and thank you for your support.
At this time, we'd like to thank all of the support provided for the Coach's Corner each week. Again, thank you to our signature sponsor, Woody's Roadside, for hosting us each week. And our other sponsors, Harborview Oral and Facial Surgery Center, Gulfside Periodontics of Gulfport, Revive and Thrive, Savvy Sliders, and Exceed Physical Therapy. Thank you guys for supporting Gulfport High Admiral football.